When I first started the business, of course, I was focused on just getting the work that clients wanted done. But the more I did the work, the more I listened to my clients, I realized that actually inclusion work is leadership work. And so I started to tune in more into the leadership aspects of this work. And so that's thinking, for example, when you have a diverse organization, one of the things people talk about is diverse organizations outperform non-diverse organizations. The link that people often miss there is that this only happens if those organizations or those teams are also well led. And so I started to shift my focus to embed leadership at the heart of inclusion. And we've been really excited about the work we've done. In the last 18 months, we've worked with leaders across the UK, different industries. We've worked with leaders in Africa, in South Asia, and the work is growing. And what we are now really embedding with our clients is this concept of the village at the heart of inclusion. So how this works is, when we're working with somebody or when we're working with a team or with an organization, we start to think about what is it that actually brings people together here? What is the common purpose that our team are trying to serve? How can we unlock the sense of strength, for example, in somebody and bring them into a space where they can serve common purpose for the organization, for their team? And so that's the mix between inclusion and leadership. And there are other concepts in the organizational space that sound a bit like this, but they're not quite the thing. So for example, you might have heard people saying, find your tribe or find your clan. These are ways in which people organize themselves. So for example, I am an Nilotic African of the tribe of the Luo people. So Luo is my tribe. I also belong to a clan. And my clan lives somewhere on the wonderful shores of Lake Victoria in Western Kenya. And so those are identity markers that help my community make sense of our ancestry. So similar things happen in organizations. You find the tribe of IT, the tribe of finance, the tribe of the creatives, for example, ways in which people make sense of their identity within organizations in a way that creates meaning and creates a sense of belonging and gives them purpose. But therein comes the problem, that sometimes when people organize themselves like this, they then build walls around those organized groups, those tribes and clans, such that people don't come and go. We are the tribe of IT, and that's who we are. And so we're finding that tribe of finance quite annoying, or the tribe of HR are stopping us from doing the things that we would like to do. That's kind of in terms of how people organize themselves in terms of their work, the tribes of work. But people can also do that in terms of their personal identity. So for example, this is the tribe of women or the tribe of people of color in your organization. And it makes the concept of inclusion difficult to organize and to make sense of in organizations. So what we do is we help people to understand actually that's a really good way for you to make sense of your experience in an organization. It gives you a sense of belonging. But once we have belonging in our individual groups, in our tribes and clans, what we need to do is then bring them to a space that is governed by common purpose, and that is the village. So the village idea becomes central whether we are doing training or whether we are advising a client on a new strategy or whether we are developing a leadership program. It's about finding what is the common purpose in this organization around which we must rally everybody. And so we design around that common purpose. We create spaces where people can come as individuals, where individuality is valued and respected, but also the collective drives the individuals to bring the best of themselves. And we've seen this work from many, many organizations that we have worked with. It makes inclusion very, very exciting. So when you work with us, you very quickly understand this concept and you very quickly see how we're building it in to your organization and how it can be transformative for the wider culture.